there are a lot of job opportunities here. As I was telling you before, there are a lot of big companies here, and this is a good time for us to look for a job. So if I would like to change careers, I know that I have opportunities. So I'm in Sydney. So Sydney has a lot of, they are called cities here, but in the reality they are neighborhoods. So I live in a neighborhood called Bondi, which is in the eastern suburbs of Sydney. So you got a postcode for every neighborhood. So I live in the eastern suburbs. It's like another city, but it's Sydney. At the moment, I'm working in Atlassian. So you may know it for Jira. So I've been working there for a year now. So in 2 weeks, I'm getting 1 year there. So at the moment, I'm a front-end engineer, and we are working entirely with React. So our main framework is React. Of course, we use a lot of different libraries, but mainly React. I'm only working on the front end. In the back end, there is in Java, some Node as well, but in our product is Java. So I'm working with those technologies. Not Java, but mainly React and JavaScript.
Cool, great. What cloud provider are they using?
Quite sure it's AWS, but yeah, I don't have any relationship with the infrastructure. But yeah, the company provides some AWS certifications, so I guess it's AWS. Yeah, over the last few months, as you said, they're demanding a lot of engineers here. I got a personal friend, which is a recruiter, and she's always looking for JavaScript engineers, and also .NET as well. There are a few companies here that work with .NET. And yeah, I think over the last few months, it's been increasing a lot. I know that they are actively looking for people. Even if you are outside Australia, they can hire you. And for example, big companies here, we have Google, Amazon, Facebook, Microsoft, and I think they do relocation. So at the moment, it's quite difficult because of COVID. But before it was very common to, they do all the relocation process for you, like the visa, and they get you an apartment for the first few months. So I think you should prepare for your interviews, learn about the company, learn about their processes, learn about what they care about. So if you think that the company cares about the values, cares about you as a person, just try to be open and talk about yourself. Don't sell yourself as someone you're not. Just be yourself. If the company is for you, they will like you. And then the technical side, prepare for it. So in my case, in my personal experience, when I arrived in Sydney, I applied to Atlassian, and Canva is another big company here. And I failed both interviews because I wasn't prepared. Then I entered working in another company, as I told you before. And then when I wanted to try again with Atlassian, I prepared a lot. So in the technical side of it, so I learned a lot about the processes. I learned a lot about the latest technologies they were using. Because even if you work every day, you are not prepared to explain it and to show someone, because for example in my case there were live coding interviews, so it's very tense to have to code with someone watching you.
Can you give us a little bit of how you prepared those meetings, those interviews?
So there were many steps on the process. So the first one was, for example, just a phone screening. They were just asking me basic questions, so I didn't prepare for that one. But the next ones were 2-hour live coding session. 2 sessions of 1 hour. So what I did for that, I was doing some coding challenges online. I think it was a platform called Ninja something. I don't remember at the moment, but they provide you with technical examples. For example, they give you an array of items and tell you, okay, sort it, do whatever with it. So I did a lot of that, and it's incredible how you learn doing that, because in the first ones where I was struggling a lot, and in the last ones I was doing them with more ease. So yeah, that was one of the preparations. And the second one was learning about the company, the values, and when you are in the interview, you can talk about them with the interviewers. They are all aware of it, and they value that as well. Yeah, so the second interview was a design system interview. So they were just talking with me about a system that they wanted to develop and how would I do it from scratch. And I had to write in paper or in the screen how would I do it and what considerations. So for that one, I watched a few videos that Google has about system design, and learning what they expect about a system and everything. So I followed that when I was doing my interview, and it went very well. When I came here, I got a work and holiday visa, which I'm sure you're familiar about. It's the one that you can stay 1 year. But here in Australia, you got the restriction that you can only work 6 months for the same employer. So my company, when I got the job, I told them about my situation, and they told me, yeah, if in 6 months we see that you're doing well, we will offer you a work visa or a sponsor visa. And they gave me that after 6 months. It was funny because we were 3 Argentinians that started the same day on the same company, and so the 3 of us were with the same visa, and we got the sponsor after those 6 months. Then after 1 year, I got the offer in Atlassian. I moved there. I was still with the work visa, and a few months after, my partner got the residency with her company. She's an IT as well. She works with .NET.
Okay.
So I was sponsored in her residency. So we are both Australian residents at the moment. I've been outside Argentina since 2016, so 6 years and a half maybe. Yeah, I think I improved a lot. But usually when you reach certain level, you stop trying to learn, and you think, okay, this is enough for me to communicate and to work and to do everything. So you stop trying to learn new words or doing courses and everything. I did that, but I know a few people that didn't do that, and they keep going to English classes and everything. And I think there's always room to improve. People here are very nice, so even if you are not a good English speaker, they just understand you, and they talk slowly and everything. So you say, okay, this is enough for me, so they understand me, so that's fine. Most of the people are from a foreign country, and for most of them, English is not their first language. So you feel like everyone is in your same, wave. So we all have different accents. We all have different words that we cannot pronounce, or there are a lot of things that stop us from being perfect in English. But everyone is very kind, and even Australians. In my work, there are not many Australians, so I don't have that, Australian experience every day, but generally, yeah, they are very nice. They always, if you, for example, I was in my previous company, I had a colleague that was like a very literate Australian, and he would always teach me new words or tell me things to improve and everything, and that was very nice. You have, international cuisine everywhere. I would say that even more than Australian cuisine. So you can find a lot of different, types of food. If I have to think, I would say fish and chips, but it's the same as New Zealand because.
And UK.
Probably, Vegemite as well, which is this.
Vegemite. That's probably one of the very characteristic things of Australian. Can you describe a little bit what it is, Vegemite?
So if you see it, it looks like chocolate, like a chocolate spread, but don't trust it because it's not. It's like a yeast paste. It's a bit salty, so it has a strong flavor. You usually put it in a toast with a little bit of Vegemite and a lot of butter. So it gives that salty flavor, but it's a very nutritive. It has a lot of vitamins. So Australians eat it here in breakfast usually. But yeah. They got even pizza with Vegemite here, or cookies with Vegemite. They do everything. The culture here is very, I would say, that you need to go out a lot because there are a lot of things to do, especially in the evening, at night. So usually people go out a lot here. So it's warm at night sometimes, so you can just walk through the city center. You can do a lot of different coffee shops or bars. There are a lot of bars and pubs. So that's one thing that you should do when you come here. There's also a culture called hidden bars, which are bars that everyone knows where they are, but you cannot find them on Google. So you go there, and it's usually this bar that looks like a hidden thing or a illegal thing, but yeah, it's totally legal. So that's a good thing. Also, there are a lot of sightseeing to do here. You got the Opera House, you got the Royal Botanical Gardens, the Harbor Bridge, and that's all on almost the same spot. So I would say that's a thing you should do even the first week you're here. I did it the first week, so it was amazing, seeing all those places that you see on the TV or maybe on photos, and you get to be there. It's very nice. So the first New Year I spent here, we went with a couple of friends to an island that is in front of the Harbor Bridge, because all the spots that you can see from the city, they are usually fully booked since July maybe. So there are not many nice spots. So we got that island. It was a bit expensive, but it was our first New Year in Sydney, so we say we need to see them well. So we went to that island and we did like a picnic. We started maybe at 7 p.m. When midnight came, we were able to see them very nice from there. So it was beautiful. It's like a show that lasts, I don't know, 5 minutes, fireworks, and it's incredible. It's amazing. So we live in Sydney, so there are not many weird animals here apart from rats and a lot of birds. But yeah, if you go to the countryside, you will find snakes and a lot of things. But for example, kangaroos, we have seen a lot here, but not in Sydney. We usually go camping a lot, so we have seen many kangaroos in the wild. The first one you see is like you're very fascinated, but then you get used to them. So they are scavengers, so they if you leave something there, they will eat it. And there are also possums a lot here. It's like a little, I don't know what it is, but it's very funny as well. Yeah. They open your bags and they stay on top of the trees and they wait until you throw something. For example, if you are eating meat, the bones, and they will go and get them. There's also dingoes, which are like dogs. So one time we were camping and we saw a dingo, and we said, "Oh, who brought their dog to the campsite?" And then we learned it was a dingo. It was like a wild dog. You cannot pet them or anything. They were just, they're very aggressive if you try to reach them. So yeah, there are a lot of animals. What surprises me the most are the birds. Here in Sydney, at least, there are many birds everywhere. I don't know if you can hear them now, well, because it's a bit cloudy, but in the morning you wake up with the birds. So yeah, that's very. But I haven't seen many snakes. Spiders, yeah, there are a lot everywhere as well. If you leave a corner and attend it for a week, there will be spider there. Sharks seen close to the city, but they are not common. But yeah, there are some beaches that you cannot even get into. I mean, there is a sign saying, okay, you cannot get in here. There are sharks. It's like it's everyday sharks, so you cannot get into it. You see the beach and it's beautiful, but then you cannot get into because of the sharks. I mean, you can maybe get into a few meters, but you cannot swim there. But people know about them and they respect it a lot, so they're used to it. And there are beaches everywhere, so even if one has sharks, you can go to the next one. It should be all right. So sometimes it rains more, sometimes it rains a little bit less, but you got rain in every season. But yeah, you got in summer, it's very warm. In Sydney, you can get from 30 to 40 degrees Celsius. And in winter, it doesn't get lower than maybe 5 degrees, the lowest. So it's not too cold. It's good to be here. But I know some people, for example, in Brisbane or Cairns, which is more, it's in the north side of the country. In winter, you got 20, 15, so it's like a all year summer. So it's very nice. Yeah, first of all, I would say that you need to get some sort of visa that would allow you to do some work here, maybe student visa, or if you can work on holiday. So once you are here, I think it's easier for you to find something. There are a lot of people that can help you, well, you as well, and everyone. So if you can stay here and do some work, people will know you. You will make contacts here. You got a lot of that of making contacts, knowing the right people. So you can go, in our case with IT, you can go to conferences, or you can go to a lot of different places, and you will find a shop here for sure. The second one will be education, not only universities or anything. You can do a course, you can study English, you can study online. I know of people that just studied online, never went to a uni or anything, and they got a shop now. So I think that's important to get up to date with the technologies you want to work on. Focus on something. Don't try to learn everything. Just there to do it. I mean, if you're having doubts, just do it. Worst case, you will have a nice holiday in Australia. So, I mean, of course, if you can. I mean, first I would say the beach. I live close to the beach, so it's good to have that balance between work and leisure. I would say that after work I can go to the beach and it's still daylight and the weather is nice. So I would say that. Also, there are a lot of job opportunities here. As I was telling you before, there are a lot of big companies here, and this is a good time for us to look for a job. So if I would like to change careers, I know that I have opportunities. This is not related to Australia per se, but there are a lot of friends here and a lot of South American and Latin people that you can still feel at home sometimes, with your friends, with in my case, my girlfriend. So we are like a small family here. So that's another good thing. You can find a lot of people from your community. Yeah, thankfully we can find alfajores. There are a lot of people selling empanadas as well. As you said, asado, everything you can find. So that's a plus. No, first of all, thanks to you as well. I know you helped me as well when I arrived in New Zealand 5 years ago. Yeah, you had an interview and you talked with me about what should I consider when having an interview, because the process was very different than the one I was accustomed to use. So yeah, thanks for that. I think another thing could be don't be scared. If you wanna apply for a big company, don't be scared that they won't like you or anything. They are just companies as any company. So yeah, that was one of the keys, because at first I would say, no, why would this company hire me? And then once I'm working here, I see that it's a normal company. It's just big one, but they got same people inside. People that care about people and that.